there's been an absolute obsession on getting this project over the line, and that's all the focus has been basically in terms of the Department for Transport, HS2, on getting this project delivered. And they've lost a sense of reality in terms of actually, is this the best project? Does this deliver best value for money? And is this the project that's going to actually level up those opportunities in the Midlands and the North?
What is your plan? What is the alternative plan that you'd like the Prime Minister to pick up and run with?
Well, this is the Phase 1 Plus plan that we've put together, and it is about using that 28 billion that we would save from Phase 2 to reinvest in other projects, including upgrading many parts of the West Coast Main Line, that would mean that we could deliver high-speed rail services to Manchester, to Liverpool, to all of those northwest destinations far cheaper, far sooner, and at a very similar journey time saving.
If it was so straightforward, why's no one thought of this before, and why wouldn't the government have done it?
Well, I think there's been at HS2, there's been an absolute obsession on getting this project over the line, and that's all the focus has been basically in terms of the Department for Transport, HS2, on getting this project delivered. And they've lost a sense of reality in terms of actually, is this the best project? Does this deliver best value for money? And is this the project that's going to actually level up those opportunities in the Midlands and the North? And I think that is where they've failed. And actually, there is far better ways we could invest that money that would deliver a far greater return, not just in terms of upgrading the West Coast Main Line, either other transport projects, other things that are priorities for people across the North, across the Midlands.
When you say they've lost sense of reality, you mean the Conservative government. You've been in power for the last 13 years. You've been the party in charge of this project.
No, I mean HS2 have lost sense of reality, and that's the challenge that we've had, because if you look at HS2, we've had the revelations about the huge salaries that some of those people working for HS2 have been on. You know, the chief executive, former chief executive, Mark Thurston, was on the highest paid civil servant of any in the country. You know, this is absolutely shocking amounts of money that have been wasted. And, you know, the reality is they are disconnected with what is needed in terms of that levelling up and in terms of what will deliver the best value for money.
Why would it be a better project if you had people being paid less running it? Don't you want the best people running the project? You can't on the one hand say they've run it badly, and on the other hand say actually we should have had worse people being paid badly to do it.
Well, I do think that we need, good people running these projects. But if you look at the inflation that we've seen on those salaries, way above what would be, the normal in those sort of lines of work. You know, having Mark Thurston having the highest salary of anybody in the civil service, you know, that was absolutely appalling. You know, it doesn't give any sense of reality when we've got people on those sort of salaries, and you wouldn't see that in any other line of work and construction project. I think this project has gone out of control.
What wouldn't you? It's the biggest construction project in the country.
Well, it is, but you know, the reality is that these individuals need to be paid a good, fair wage, and I don't think it's fair to be having extraordinary amounts, over 600k, I think Mark Thurston was on, which is absolutely extraordinary amounts of money that I think most reasonable people would say that is not value for money. We're certainly not getting value for money out of those individuals in terms of the work that we've seen. Certainly he's appeared a number of times before our select committee. I'm obviously a member of the Transport Select Committee, and failed to answer many of our questions. So I don't think we're getting very good value for money out of them.
What about then, though, if you go into a general election having not delivered on one massive infrastructure promise, but trying to make some others? Don't people in the North, people in your constituency just think, what are you talking about? You know, there's all this talk, there's all this money spent, we're still not getting the trains. Why should we believe this new shiny project promise when all the others have sort of fallen by the wayside?
Well, I think, people care very much about improving local transport, improving regional transport, not just, that northwest, north north-south connectivity. They want east-west. People want Northern Powerhouse. People want east-west rail. Those sort of projects which are going to connect up the country. It isn't just about HS2. It's about also the local connectivity, local bus services. The roads are in a shocking state. Those are the things that people really care about, and not just transport either. Schools, hospitals. These are all things which matter to communities. And I think there are things that would deliver a far better on levelling up, deliver on the priorities of those communities than HS2 Phase 2 will actually do. And actually we can invest some of that 28 billion, saving a huge amount of money in actually upgrading parts of the West Coast Main Line and deliver high-speed services to all of those destinations, all of the destinations that were proclaimed by HS2 far sooner, far cheaper, and at a similar journey time saving than HS2 could achieve, and by not wasting huge amounts of money.